In our previous two videos, we explored the First and Second World Wars, examining the causes and consequences of these monumental conflicts. However, there was another event that occurred during this time that is often considered one of the darkest periods in human history: the Holocaust. The Holocaust was a systematic persecution and murder of 6 million Jews, as well as millions of other marginalized groups, including Romani people, disabled individuals, and LGBTQ+ individuals, by the Nazi regime during World War II. This genocide occurred from 1933 to 1945, and it had a profound impact on the course of history. The significance of the Holocaust cannot be overstated. It not only resulted in the deaths of millions of innocent people, but it also revealed the devastating consequences of hate and prejudice. It served as a stark reminder of the importance of human rights and the need to prevent such atrocities from occurring again in the future. In this video, we will explore the historical context of the Holocaust, examining the events that led up to it, the methods of persecution, and the resistance and liberation movements that arose in response. Through this exploration, we hope to honor the memory of the victims and provide a greater understanding of this tragic event. The rise of Nazi ideology and anti-Semitism in Europe was fueled by a complex web of political, social, and economic conditions. After World War I, Germany was left in a state of political and economic turmoil, with high inflation and unemployment rates. This led to a rise in extremist political movements, including the Nazi Party, which capitalized on the frustration and anger of the German people. The Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, espoused a radical nationalist ideology that glorified the supposed superiority of the Aryan race and demonized other ethnic and religious groups, particularly Jews. Anti-Semitism had a long history in Europe, but it was the Nazis who weaponized it on an unprecedented scale. In 1935, the Nuremberg Laws were introduced, which stripped Jews of their citizenship and civil rights, effectively making them second-class citizens in their own country. This was followed by the infamous Kristallnacht, or Night of Broken Glass, in 1938, during which Jewish-owned businesses, synagogues, and homes were destroyed, and tens of thousands of Jews were arrested and sent to concentration camps. As the Nazi regime tightened its grip on Europe, it established ghettos and concentration camps as part of its strategy to systematically persecute and murder Jews and other marginalized groups. Ghettos were designated areas of cities where Jews were forced to live, while concentration camps were established as detention and labor centers. The ghettos were typically overcrowded and unsanitary, with limited access to food, water, and medical supplies. Disease and malnutrition were rampant, and many died from starvation, exposure, and illness. In addition to the inhumane living conditions, Jews in ghettos were subjected to frequent roundups and deportations to concentration and death camps. Concentration camps were established as a network of detention and labor centers, where prisoners were subjected to brutal conditions and forced labor. The camps were organized according to a strict hierarchy, with some prisoners assigned to work details, while others were subjected to medical experimentation, torture, and murder. The most infamous of these camps were the death camps, where prisoners were sent to be systematically murdered in gas chambers or by other means. The most well-known of these camps was Auschwitz, where an estimated 1.1 million people, mostly Jews, were murdered. The ghettos and concentration camps were the most visible and extreme examples of the Nazi regime's systematic persecution and murder of millions of innocent people. They serve as a chilling reminder of the devastating consequences of hate and prejudice, and of the need to promote tolerance and understanding in our world today. Despite the overwhelming odds stacked against them, many individuals and groups resisted the Nazi regime, and worked tirelessly to liberate those imprisoned in ghettos and concentration camps. Resistance took many forms, from acts of sabotage and espionage to underground publications and partisan warfare. One of the most famous examples of resistance was the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, which occurred in April 1943, when Jewish residents of the Warsaw Ghetto staged a revolt against the Nazi authorities. Despite being vastly outnumbered and outgunned, the rebels held out for almost a month before being crushed by the Nazi army. This heroic act of resistance inspired others to take up the fight against the Nazi regime. Resistance efforts were also carried out by non-Jewish groups, including partisan fighters who engaged in guerrilla warfare against the Nazis. These fighters, often working in small groups, sabotaged enemy installations, gathered intelligence, and provided support to those imprisoned in concentration camps. The liberation of the concentration camps marked the beginning of the process of healing and rebuilding for the survivors of the Holocaust. It also marked a turning point in the fight against intolerance and hatred, as the world was forced to confront the full extent of the atrocities committed during the Holocaust. The Holocaust was a tragic and devastating event that resulted in the systematic persecution and murder of millions of innocent people. It was shaped by a complex set of historical factors, including the rise of Nazi ideology, anti-Semitism, and the events of World War II. Despite the horrors of the Holocaust, many individuals and groups fought back against the Nazi regime, risking their lives to resist and help others. Their bravery and sacrifice serve as a testament to the resilience and strength of the human spirit. We hope that this video has provided you with a better understanding of the Holocaust and its historical context. We encourage you to continue learning about this important period in history, and to promote tolerance and understanding in your own communities. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel and giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.